Now, continuing. Excuse me, that was a weird burp. Continuing with whatever the fuck this is.
This one will be fun.
Oh my god, I spaced out for a second. What the fuck was that?
That is a dragon.
Wait,
Yes.
this isn't Kathy Griffin?
No, I mean, it's what she wishes she could be, I
God
guess.
damn.
Oh,
Yikes.
It does look like her, though.
Really? It looks like Kathy Griffin had a child with Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, yes. Oh, my. When you say it. And
Actually,
look at the necklace kind of, I can see that. Wow, that's some good concept art right there.
Nicholas.
But
Starting to roast early.
I'm gonna play off that roast here in a second after we watch this thing.
Wait,
oh man.
you hear that? I think something's sizzling.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna play this. It's no context needed. There you go.
Oh.
Oh, that's Ollie London. I should have known.
Oh my gosh.
I've got a one.
Oh my goodness.
My lord.
What? This is what they want.
There's no context. There was just no context.
You don't need any. You don't need any. It's just boo. Like fuck. I don't. What do you say to that? If you,
I'm pretty sure the underlying context is that people are afraid of trans people.
Yes.
People are afraid of drag queens, or people are afraid of LGBT.
Well,
I get that's why they call it transphobes. But it's not that people are afraid. It's just that.
Well, when you stroll up on me looking like that and making grunting noises, dude, I wouldn't know how to react. I'm gonna be honest.
You're
I'd
just
be
like
a little freaked out.
I would think some clarification would be in order on that one. People aren't afraid of transsexuals. We're afraid of what transsexuals would do to our kids if we're not around.
Right.
That's what we're afraid of.
And then we're
cancel culture.
Oh yeah.
Here's a fact: not all gays are groomers, but all groomers are gay. You heard it here first.
Oh snap! Well, there are some groomers that aren't. I would say.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
The story of the woman who just fucking
Right,
or who
Right.
Good one. Good one. Yeah.
I guess he is saying that there's lots. Like today, there are lots of like groomers that aren't, but there are definitely some groomers that are straight.
It has to do with what Scorch always says. He hates it when, and I hate it too. I hate it when people like put their sexuality at the forefront of their personality.
Yeah.
And that's what they always do.
Yeah.
That's what they always do. They always put their sexuality at the forefront of their personality.
It's like, hello, my name is Gay, and I am James. Oh, wait a minute, I said that
wrong. Because it's like in these days, if you don't have that thing that's like differentiating you from everybody else, you're no one.
Right.
You know?
That's what they have in their mind.
In reality, there are millions of things that could differentiate you from someone else, but apparently this one thing is that only thing that can count.
Right, yeah.
And if it doesn't count, you're phobic.
Yeah, you're a phobic. You're scared. You're afraid. I mean,
all right, now can we scroll down?
Oh no! I'm not gonna
scroll down one picture.
I want to know.
Just one.
Oh my
god! No!
And that's
amazing.
And that's Kathy Griffin and Edward Scissorhands' other child.
Oh my gosh! Look at that shirt.
Would you believe it? That's the intelligent baby.
Tyrannosaurus. Oh my gosh. That is creepy. That is your child's babysitter. Oh my goodness. You're not going.
Man.
I am quitting my job. I am being a stay-at-home father.
Mom, Dad, can we have a babysitter? The babysitter at home.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This one right here is funny to me because
That is
look at
Mr. Broccoli.
Mr. Broccoli.
Okay.
Can you figure what's finna happen? Can you figure what's finna happen?
Mr. Broccoli, you went viral on the internet because you were arrested and you were a piece of broccoli.
Yes.
Do you identify as broccoli, or
I am Mr. Broccoli. Yes, that's right, please.
do you have another name or not?
No, Mr. Broccoli is
That's
me.
it.
Yeah.
You don't go about your daily business as a piece of broccoli.
I've always been a piece of broccoli.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. So do you have a job?
I just grow. Yeah.
In the UK.
Only in the UK. School.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't say only in the UK to that.
Yeah.
You fucking know.
Yeah.
America's got the UK beat in that shit.
Yeah, sadly we do.
That
Just haven't seen enough examples of it yet.
Yeah,
Would definitely-
that's sad. But yeah, we could totally hear your computer,
Touche.
Hush Puppy.
by the way, yeah, Scorch, you got the speakers on?
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Why?
We
could hear it.
There's a bit of an echo there.
We heard. We heard it from your computer. I was like, wait, am I hearing an echo? I was like, oh, yeah. Your room was green.
I don't have speakers.
Ah, that's
My room
weird.
was green.
Flop.
Your rim. You know how on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
I think that's feedback from the NSA listening in on this.
oh,
yeah.
shit.
The NSA's going ham. On the
Damn.
clip right now.
Well,
Really good.
guess it's about that time, guys.
George, did you post that you were a guest star today somewhere?
Did I post the what?
Did you post that you were a guest star on our show today somewhere, man?
He accidentally tagged them.
Oh no.
Damn it!
Flagged
I'll
him
remember
down.
not to do that in the beginning.
Right. This one is what you call mental gymnastics because they're explaining how they are actually a woman.
I can't wait.
Yes, this is how the thinking works in the brains of the thems and theys. Buckle in, it's about to be a wild ride.
Transgender woman or transgender man is listed under gender. Now, my gender is female. Being transgender is just a part of my life and who I am. It's a descriptor. Like when you say he's a creepy man, you wouldn't list creepy man as a gender. If gender were the countries Womania and Manland, my transiness just tells you that I'm a
Ironic that he
Womanian who
mentions
was
creepy
born
man.
in Manland. I don't consider myself mannish. Folks who are born and raised in Manland are mannish. Regardless of where I was born of Womanian descent. From Womania.
True about crashed. What do you mean?
Okay. Okay. All right. First of all, you beat me to it, Paragon, with the whole I love how creepy is the word that they chose
Right.
to make their comparison.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that this person said I could be born in one country, but I'm of another country's descent. How?
That doesn't make
Doesn't make sense.
Okay, so you were born in America, but you're fucking what? Japanese descent? You know?
I get what he's trying to do. This is what he's trying to do. Because people call themselves Irish American or Italian American
because
he
their
thinks that-
ancestors. Yeah.
Right. He thinks that's transferable for his mental illness. The truth of the matter is, I never bought into that myself. Even though I'm descent from African, I don't call myself African American. I'm American.
Right.
Period. Born and raised. My ancestors are from somewhere else, but that doesn't make me anything more than American. So he's trying to use a debunked argument to try to justify his mental illness.
This actually goes along with that whole thing when I was saying that they use black people for certain experiments, right? So the whole N-word thing that I always bring up every show, right? The whole N-word thing, we're like, oh, you can't say it because the N-word's bad. Black people is the only person who can say it. So now they're using that same logic for you can't call us a man, or you can't use whatever term that we don't want you to use. And if you do, then we can physically assault you. It's the same thing. So they're like, say, oh, since black people or whatever race, they're here in America. They were born here, but they descended from whatever the fuck. And now they're trying to, what was it? Cultural appropriation. Hey, look at they're appropriating this whole idea of everything, really. Their whole entire being is appropriation, I
Be
guess.
born in one place and be identify as someone from somewhere else. But
Basically.
you're rose. You've been raised.
You raised
That
You've been
reminds
raised
me of
in a culture. You've been raised in one culture, so that's your culture.
right.
Like you
This
can't.
reminds me of the trans Korean guy.
Yes,
I don't know if
Ollie
you like
London.
that.
Yeah, that's who you're talking about.
That's
Oh,
who
that
we
was
just saw.
him?
That
Yeah.
that was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wanted to bring up. I always, whenever someone says African American, I always joke. I actually know 2 real African Americans, and they're both white.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. That's why I always call that person at a job, like, you're my African American.
Right.
Look at my African American over there.
That's my African American.
Here's the real question: where do you guys draw the line of where you stop being, just like African and start being African American? Is it like when a citizenship test gets passed, or
What
like,
do you mean?
'cause-
Like,
Well, because
okay, for
I
me,
know several people who are from Africa,
Mhm.
who live in this country, who work in this country, who have taken their like citizenship tests, and they're have no desire to go back to the countries that they were from.
Mhm.
Would they be considered African American?
I mean, so for me at least, I look at it as okay. So you were born in Africa and you moved here, so clearly
Right.
you're from Africa. You're African,
You're
and you've got your citizenship here, so you're African American. That's how I look at it as now.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at it as like a black person who's been born and raised here, and they're like, I'm African American, I'm just like, that's stupid.
That's
You're not
stupid, yeah.
African American.
You're
You're,
American.
just a black American, or you're American. It's like if I wanted to say that, like, I wouldn't even be African American because apparently my ancestors were actually here. So like that's kind of like where I'm like,
On the
I
same,
can't even use that.
Say a similar vein of thought. Say a person moves here and they get their citizenship, and they're from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider that African American. But if they have children, their children aren't African.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they've lived here their whole lives.
Yeah, that.
Well, if they have children here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If their
Yeah.
children would no longer be African American.
Yeah.
You know who's a legit African American? Elon Musk.
Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I am? I'm an American of African descent.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I put American first because that's the most important part, and African comes second because that's where some of my descendants come from.
Mhm.
But nothing trumps the fact that me and my family have been born and raised in this country for several generations. So to sit there and try to put African American on front of American, is this some misguided liberals' attempt to try to substitute the word African for Negro? Because back in the day, it was Negro American.
All right. Now, here's a conspiracy theory about the African American term. Conspiracy theory. All right. So I believe that they started calling black people, or the people that were here, African American at some point in the past, so that everybody who was black and they weren't from Africa, or they were not part of the whole slave thing, they were using that to make everybody believe that their ancestors were from Africa, so that people wouldn't be like, oh, this is actually my home, my actual place of origin, you know what I'm saying? And then they gave the whole Native American label to all the Indians that we believe today are all the Native Americans, and then said, oh, they've all been genocided, when in actuality there were probably like lots of black people who were already Native Americans, like I said, like my family, they were actually here already, like they weren't like brought here from Africa. So it's kind of like, I'm definitely not African American.
Well, yeah, can you expand on that a little bit? Because I kind of got lost in it. Are you saying that there were already black people in America before the arrival of the colonists?
Yes, and my family, at least on my mother's side, is actually part of those black people that were here before that time.
Yeah.
Right? And my this is from my grandmother, right? So this is my grandmother telling me this.
So where did those black people come from?
See, my belief, right? I believe that the way that the world worked, right? This might move a little bit into conspiracy theory
We're
territory.
getting a little bit into conspiracy here.
This might go a little bit into conspiracy theory. So, I believe that, our world was, created. There's a creator, and he created our world in a way that, we all just were here. Now, the whole thing about Pangea and all that, I kind of don't believe Pangea was actually a thing. Maybe it was real. I don't know. I wasn't there back then. But I kind of think that our world was already here, right? And then our creator put all of us here. Now, the reason that I believe we were all black, everybody was from Africa, that whole thing. Maybe that whole gene that we consider to be African is just a gene that everybody shares. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's like, we're all from Africa. Everybody's from Africa because we all have the same African gene. But what is the African? What is that? What is the African gene? I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know what the African gene means. So, my thought, right, is we're all pretty much come from the same thing. It doesn't have to be Africa, not necessarily, but we were all placed here on the world, right? On this planet, on the world, however it was, and then, we're just here, right?
Here, I thought you were going to say that Eskimos and Native Americans just got it on, and that's how the first black people.
Well, I think like the way the place that
listen, Eskimos were Native Americans, okay?
Well, okay, one type of Native American got it on with another type of Native American, and that's how black people got started in America.
Yes, yeah. But I believe like the whiter skinned Native Americans, I think that weren't like the Spaniards came over at some point, and then they kind of raped the women and stuff, and then their offspring are what's left over, and that's where we got the white ones. And then they were just like, okay, those are all the actual Native Americans, and then all the other black people that were Native Americans, we're just going to call you all African Americans. And then they weren't allowed to talk about their actual Native American Indian background at one point for some reason. I guess that was actually a real life thing, actually. So
okay, I would like to point out that I only use Native American because Indians are from there. There's a country called India.
Yeah.
That's the only
technically,
reason
I think if you want to get politically correct or whatever, I think Native American people are pushing to be referred to as indigenous.
Yeah,
because the indigenous people.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. But we're not being political.
As far as listen. I never expected any of y'all to participate in that shit. I'm just saying, little fact drop. But as far as Paragon's question about where black people came from if they were here before the Native Americans or whatnot, didn't the Spaniards have slaves? Because I'm pretty sure they did.
I think everybody had slaves, actually. Like slavery.
And the Spaniards hit what is now Florida long before the colony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The extent of the Spanish Empire pretty much encompassed everything from California all the way down to the Straits of Magellan in South America. And the Spaniards, they pretty much enslaved the native peoples of that area at the time. But, interesting side note, Native Americans were also known for enslavement.
Yeah, everybody was doing.
Everybody has enslaved other people at some point.
That was like a normal thing back then, just like peanut butter and jelly.
And
it's making me wonder what I missed out on. Maybe I should buy a couple.
Right.
There were black slave owners.
Right?
Yeah,
there were.
There were white slaves.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
There were white slaves.
Yeah, that's true too. Yep.
There still are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
The American
I have not gone home in 3 months, guys. Send to help. James has trapped me in his apartment.
I told you not to. No, just stop.
Get the fuck back in the room.
Let's be honest, we're all slaves to the American economic system.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Capitalism.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, this one doesn't even, you don't even need to hear this one, right? This is just look at how this looks, right? I'm just going to turn the audio off.
Don't tell
Look at this. This is a real life thing. I think this is in Canada. But like, look,
one half of that ensemble looks like part of the Addams family family reunion.
when they say inclusion, they are talking about what the fuck is this?
That's what I want to know.
What? And then they have the poor child that actually is the most normal looking. Well, besides this
poor
person,
child.
the normal looking. Like, what is this person? You look like a wizard.
Hey, listen. That could be Gandalf's descendant.
Right? Like, geez. Like, what in the world? Whenever I hear inclusion, I'm like, oh gosh, what am I about to see? What are you about to bring in here? Jeepers creepers.
I saw that press conference and I thought to myself, of everything that Canada has done in the past 5 years, between gun grabbing and throwing truckers in prison and almost going as far as China and barring people in their homes, of all the things that Canada has done to single-handedly destroy itself as a functional nation in the Western world, this would have to be it.
Yeah.
This would have to be that one thing.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be. Now,
I just love that the LGBT community keeps adding.
Yeah, adding letters.
Yeah.
No, you can't just say adding letters anymore. There's a 2 on the beginning
There
of
is a
that.
2.
2 now.
What is the 2?
What does the 2 mean?
I think it's two-spirit.
Two-spirit, yeah.
What the fuck is that? Where you
I
got-
explained it like a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
It
yeah, that's
goes
right.
back to the
Basically,
Native
we're-
American
multi-personality
the Native American
disorder. I got it.
belief.
Yeah.
No, I think it goes back to the Native American belief that bisexual people were made of 2 spirits, a woman's spirit and a man's spirit. And that's why they were bisexual.
Ah.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months,
Well-
and they're going to have Princess symbol on the end of all that LGBT.
Right. Prince.
Look, I've met someone who believed they were kin for fictional characters.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, you look at all those.
Furries?
Furries.
Well, it extended.
worse than
It
that.
extended
The people who
beyond
believe
that.
they're-
Yeah, like the
They're-
people who believe that they're actually like family to someone like I play Overwatch. They legitimately believed they were kin to a character called Lucio. Yeah, he's a black person who
He's a
rolls around on a
DJ.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
That's a probably more apt description. He's a Brazilian DJ that
Skates.
skates around
on walls.
and shoots people with sound.
With sound, yeah.
They
You legitimately think
yes.
they're related to him. Is that what it is?
Yeah, this was a few years ago, so they might have become a little more sane since then because they were a kid back then. But I mean, they were allowed to believe that.
They were like, wow, he looks exactly like my dad.
But the kicker is, it was a female,
Oh.
a white female.
Oh. Damn.
I mean,
So-
they're white Brazilians.
She's reaching.
Who knows?
They're probably white Brazilians, but
There are white Brazilians. That's not probably.
I mean, if they're white, can you?
They're white Jamaicans.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Now,
Struggle is real.
you know what's funny though? Like, normal people are not really like along with this whole thing. And this video is kind of funny to me because, like, you know how you have the drag queen shows for kids and all that. So I'm guessing that's what this is. And this dude right here is just—he's not having it. He's like, "What the fuck is this?"
He's like, what have I got
It's
myself
like,
into?
bruh, who the fuck?
He is so confused, as I would be.
He is not happy. He's gonna.
Like, some gay-ass shit.
So did he willingly go there to this, or did this spontaneously happen while he was there?
You know what I think? What happened is, like, the family was like, "Hey, we should go to this thing," and he didn't know what the fuck it was. He was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, let's go," and then he was like, "Wait, what's going on? Why is this dude over here?
Why is
What,
this
what's the
dude
music?
dancing like a?
Oh my god!"
Like he's having
And he's
a
like,
stroke.
"I cannot believe I got tricked into this." And then now he's like, he's like, "I can't even make a scene because they totally got me to come here."
Right.
And like the kids are there and everything. Like, you should have known.
We're having a conversation after that, though,
Right?
I guarantee you.
There was a
He's
stern
like,
talking to.
I'm never doing that again. Don't ever
Y'all
do
are
that
never going to go do that again. Like,
Never doing
fuck.
that shit again. That was not fun.
We ain't about that in this family. That's probably what
Real
happened.
talk, real talk, all that stuff don't fly in the hood. You don't see them doing that in the hood.
Not happen in the
No,
fucking-
and that's exactly the mentality that was going into that. I don't know.
right.
Like, he was like, this is some gay ass shit. Like,
Thank you once again for watching, but please go subscribe on Rumble, Odyssey, and Utreon to see more content that we cannot put on YouTube. Also, check out our GameSanity channel where we play live streams of different games, and the Oreyo Show where we have a podcast about current events and interesting topics going on in the world today. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.